Hey everybody, thought I'd make another video. Haven't made one for a while. Here we are in Virginia. It's middle of February, February 19th, I believe, and it's President's Day here. And shad fishing is fast approaching. The shad run will start here in Northern Virginia somewhere around probably the first week of March and last probably as maybe the first week of May, if you're lucky. If you've never done any shad fishing, I'm telling you, it's some of the most fun fishing you'll do. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. They fight like heck. They they'll wear your wrist out. You'll catch so many when the run gets really hot. You can fish here in the Rappahannock, Occoquan, Potomac. I guess all the way down to the James River in Richmond. I've never been down that way to do some shad fishing. I might try to do it this year. I've fished the Rappahannock and I have fished the Occoquan. I fish the Occoquan a lot. I work in Northern Virginia, so I just take my fishing gear with me, drive to the end of the town there, park the car, walk down to the bank, and just start throwing. And again, if you've never been shad fishing, again, it's pretty simple. You want to fish with either spoons or jigs, and normally you'll fish with either a gold spoon or a silver spoon. All right, and you can fish with different colors. I have different color spoons. I really caught a lot on this color last year. I don't know if the color really made a difference, but I really caught a lot on that different color. Bought some different color ones this year just to try out. And I'm excited about getting ready to get started. The size spoon you want to use, probably somewhere around as small as 1/8 and no bigger than about 3/8. If you see this spoon right here is about 3/8. That's about as big as I'll ever use, and that's probably a little big. I'll probably normally fish 1/4, okay, about the 1/4 size, but I'll go down as small as the 1/8. Or actually, this is actually a 1/5 size, but I will fish a different type of spoon sometimes. Looks like this. Oh, I got the wrong one. Let's see what it'll look like. It's going to get off of there. Here we go. It's going to look like this. All right. So it's going to look like that. More of your flutter spoon type deal. A Clio, if you've ever fished with one of those. But this is a 1/8 size. This is actually, I don't know why I didn't get the box, but this is actually a Lunker Hunt micro spoons. I bought these 4. Again, I just got the different colors to try, but you can see there's still a gold in there and practically a silver. But I had a lot of success with kind of colors like this last year. Has some chartreuse in it and different color, like in a silver on the other side. But you're going to set your rig up a lot of times. Now you don't have to do what I have set up here. You don't have to do a double rig. You can fish it straight, either with a jig at the end or a spoon at the end. But it'll obviously, this will give you a bigger ratio to catch, fishing 2 jigs at the same time. Because what normally happens, if you don't know, these fish, when they swim together, pretty much in a line. And so you might bring this through, and it might get the attention of one or whatever, and then this one comes through, and this is the one that gets hit. And I caught a lot last year on the red and white jig. So I bought these this year. I've never used this kind, but I caught a lot on this red and white with a white tail. As a matter of fact, this is the one I actually caught it on last year. This right here, this was on fire last year. All right, a little pink head with red and white jig, and man, they would just kill this particular color last year. But every year's different. You never know what it's going to be. Is it going to be the jig they're going to hit? Is it going to be the spoon they're going to be hitting the most? And sometimes you can fish with 2 jigs, and I've never really seen anybody fish with 2 spoons before, but I suppose you could. But you really want to make sure, whatever you do, that the heavier lure goes on the bottom, and your lighter one goes on top. So if you do fish with 2 spoons, you'll want to fish your heavier spoon on the bottom, your lighter spoon here. But anyway, you just tie a double jig, a tandem rig, if you know how to do that. It's pretty simple, and I'm probably going to make a video after this one on showing you how to do that. And again, you just throw it out, and you just vary your retrieve. Sometimes you can reel it straight in. Sometimes you want to let it. You want to fish and let it count down, and kind of let it get because these fish normally are more at the bottom of the river, and so you want to kind of let it. You want to kind of throw it out and just let it sink and count to, like, 10, and then start reeling in. And if you don't catch one, then let it sink, count to 15, let it reel in, throw it out, count to 20, and be prepared to lose a lot of jigs, especially if you're letting it sink and get really down low in the water column. A lot of times you're going to get caught up and hung up on the bottom, and you're going to have to break off. So that's why I got a lot of these jigs, and a lot of jig heads, and try to buy a lot of spoons. Right now, just right here for this video, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 13 spoons. All right, so, and I've got some down here in packages that are probably too big for me to use, but might. But anyway, so let me just tell you some things here. I went to Amazon.com and bought. I like these Castmaster type jigs, but Castmasters are extremely expensive for jigs, or for spoons. And so you can find some knockoffs. This is a Castmaster knockoff spoon, and I bought a 20 pack of these, different sizes. I think this is the 3/8, and this is the 1/4. And I have some 1/5 sizes. Here's a 1/5 size right here. That's a 1/5. All right. And again, especially if you're fishing from the bank, you want to be able to get these out in the water column, and not and get it away from the shoreline, and be able to cover as much water as possible. So you'll want to be able to cast it out there. So one of the things for me, I like to fish with about a 7-foot or 7.2 medium light or medium with a fast action rod, and a size 2,000 to a 2,500 spinning reel. This is a 2,000, and this one is a 2,500. Okay, that's a 2,500. I got it both spooled with about, I think this is 10-pound. Both are spooled with 10-pound braid and a 10-pound leader. And again, different kinds of leaders, whatever you want to get. I like. I don't necessarily go out and get fluorocarbon. I like to try to save some money, so I like to use the P-Line FluoroClear. This is I call it kind of like a hybrid. It's kind of like mono with fluoro coating. It's very high abrasive resistant, and it's much cheaper than just buying straight fluoro, and I think it's a little bit better than just straight mono. So I enjoy the P-Line FluoroClear for my leader material, and I pretty much use this stuff when I inshore fish in Florida, when I bass fish down here at the river in North Anna. So this is probably my go-to leader material. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great start to their fishing with it getting warmer. Hope everybody gets a chance to get out on the water. Like I said, if you live here in Northern Virginia and you get a chance to do some shad fishing, maybe I'll see you down at the Occoquan after work one day, or maybe over here on the Rappahannock, either downtown at the downtown docks. If you've never been there, easy. Park your car, walk right down and start fishing. Now, of course, you're going to be elbow to elbow with people when it gets hot. When the fishing gets hot, I like to go down to Old Mill Park there at the end of town, park my car, and walk down to the river. It's about a 200-yard walk, and fish back there. The only problem with fishing back there, it's a park, so people bring in their dogs, their kids, and they're in the water and they're throwing rocks, and you can't be screaming and telling people, "Hey, I'm fishing." You can't do that. That's just part of the deal. I was actually fishing I was actually fishing out there last year, right at the end of April, and all of a sudden, I throw my lure out and I'm reeling. All of a sudden, up on top of the water, some dude comes up and he's got a scuba suit on with his mask on, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you joking me? You're out here, you're scuba diving in the Rappahannock?" But anyway, so and the water when he could stand up. The water was like maybe chest deep. So anyway, it was kind of surreal situation, kind of in a way funny, but also when you're trying to catch fish, you realize you're not going to catch anything with that going on. So anyway, I hope you guys can get out on the water and have an opportunity to catch some shad for the first time if you've never done it. If you do it all the time, or if you've done, good luck with getting out there. And like I said, maybe I'll see you on the bank out there this spring. All right, guys, have a good one. All right, so the next thing you're going to do with your jig, okay, you're going to find where you think is about 12 inches away. All right, and you can there's a way you can do it on your rod if you want to. You can measure it. I'm just going to eye it up, to be honest with you. And so I'm going to make a loop just like this. All right, so now my jig is going to be the end of that loop. Now this loop, all I'm going to do now is make a granny knot. I'm simply going to wrap it around my fingers like this. I'm going to take the jig and just like a granny knot, just put it straight through, and I'm going to do it 3 times. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go back through a 3rd time. 3. Now, however big you want that loop to be, that's up to you. If you want it, I'm going to pull it down a little bit here, play with it a little bit, and then there we go. And now tighten it up. And now there you have your tandem rig. There's your jig, and there's your spoon. And now you have your tandem rig. And again, you want your spoon to be heavier. That's going to get it out there. And then this is going to bring it through the fish. This is probably going to be the one that annoys them. This is probably going to be the one that catches them. All right. There you go, everybody. My shad rig.